me ask you something. Are you listening to this right now while that email, the one with the subject line, exciting news, hybrid collaboration, sits unopened in your inbox? Is your manager already saying things like, remote work was a pandemic perk, not a promise? Did your offer letter have the word remote in it, but your lease is 40 plus miles from their glass tower office? If you answered yes to any of those, stop what you're doing and listen to me, because I was you 3 months ago. Friday, 4:47 p.m. That exact email hit my inbox. Subject, exciting new chapter, our hybrid first future. The exclamation point felt like a middle finger. But here's what they didn't know. My offer letter, section 3, paragraph 2, said permanent remote. My mortgage is 47 miles from their downtown office, and I keep receipts. 60 days later, they cut me a check. Not as a severance, not as a favor, for relocation reimbursement. $3,648.22. The 3-email sequence that turned their RTO mandate into my payday? I'll read it to you verbatim. The policy PDF that makes their business necessity argument legally meaningless? I'll tell you the exact page and paragraph. The calculation that turned their broken promise into concrete dollars? I'll give you the spreadsheet formula. If you have remote anywhere in your offer letter, you need to hear this before HR schedules your listening session, because I'm about to show you how to make them pay, literally, for breaking their word. Let me set the scene. March 2021. Tech Corp Solutions. Yes, that Tech Corp, the same ones who paid me $612.47 for an internet stipend in my last video. These people don't learn. Sent me an offer letter. The hiring manager, Sarah, she didn't just mention remote work in a phone call and hope I'd forget. She wrote it down in section 3, paragraph 2 of a legally binding document. Here's what it said, and I'll read it slowly because this is the whole case. Employee's primary work location shall be remote/home office. No requirement to report to a company physical location is attached to this role, subject only to periodic client meetings, not to exceed twice annually. I read that sentence 12 times before I signed it. I made my husband read it. I had my brother-in-law, who's a paralegal, read it, because that sentence meant we could buy a house 47 miles away and save $320,000. That sentence meant I could build a real office, not work from my kitchen table. That sentence meant I could plan my life. And I did. We closed on the house in June 2021. I built the office in July 2021. For 2 years, TechCorp told me I'd made the right choice. 2021 performance review, exceptional remote productivity. 2022 performance review, masters asynchronous collaboration. 2023 first quarter, continues to exceed expectations in distributed environment. 5 consecutive reviews, 5 variations on the same theme. You're crushing this remote thing. Then came July 2023, the exciting new chapter email, the mandatory all-hands meeting. Karen from HR, same Karen who tried to tell me $30 a month was a generous internet stipend, explained with a smile tight enough to hear her molars grinding. The business landscape has evolved. Collaboration requires presence. I raised my virtual hand. I unmuted. I said, my offer letter says permanent remote. Karen's response? All employment terms are subject to business necessity modification. Rewind. Let me tell you what the employee handbook, the 2020 version, not the new one they keep quoting, says in section 1.1, terms of employment. Terms are governed by the most recent offer letter and subsequent written amendments signed by both parties. Let me emphasize that. Subsequent written amendments signed by both parties. They'd sent an email, not a signed amendment. An email with emojis and exclamation points. That's not a legal modification. That's a suggestion with confetti. Here's how they tried to wear me down. It's a playbook. See if any of this sounds familiar. Stage 1, the soft sell. Karen scheduled listening sessions. 2 hours of Zoom breakouts where she showed us slideshows of the renovated office. Cold brew on tap. Nap pods, a ping pong table nobody asked for. She called it spontaneous collaboration magic. I asked my question. What about my offer letter? Great question, she chirped. HR will follow up individually. They never did. Stage 2, the manager alignment. Brad called me. Not to threaten, to plead. Look, he said, voice tired. I know your situation, but the directive comes from the top. I'm being evaluated on my team's compliance. Can't you just try it 2 days a week for me? I recorded that call. One-party consent state. Check your laws where you are. I didn't record it for a lawsuit. I recorded it for the transcript, for this exact moment, telling you the story. Brad's key line, the one I played back 3 times. I know the offer letter said permanent, but things change. Things change. Promises don't. Not legally, not when someone relies on them to buy a house. Stage 3, the veiled threat. This came as a personalized transition plan email. It had bullet points. $150 monthly parking subsidy. Generous. $50 per day commute stipend. Wow. A deadline. Please confirm your compliance by August 15th. The unspoken footnote, or we'll discuss your future with the company. I printed that email. I highlighted discuss your future in orange. Orange is the color of prison jumpsuits and corporate warnings. I filed it next to the offer letter, building a case file without them knowing. While Karen preached collaboration and Brad pleaded compliance, I excavated. My methods are simple, but obsessive. I search every folder, download every PDF version, screenshot every Slack message before it auto-deletes into the void. Smoking gun number 1. The all-hands transcript from June 2021. CEO's Q&A. The question, are we going back to the office? His answer, no. We've seen the data. Remote is permanent. We're saving $4.2 million annually. Our workforce is happier, more productive, and we're not looking back. I found it in a Google Drive folder marked Archive 2021 All Hands. It had been shared with all employees and never rescinded. That's not a casual comment. That's a company-wide promise. Smoking gun number 2. Those performance reviews. 5 of them. Every single one praising my remote work. Performance reviews are legal documents. They get used in employment cases. They show a pattern of the company benefiting from my remote setup while they built a case to end it. Smoking gun number 3. The legal grenade I didn't even know I had. Promissory estoppel. It's a doctrine that says when someone makes a promise you reasonably rely on and breaking that promise screws you financially, that promise is enforceable even without a formal contract. My reliance damages. House purchased 47 miles from the office, $320,000. Office renovation, $8,400. Mortgage payment structure tied to remote income, $1,800 a month. Total reliance, $329,200. I didn't want to sue for that. I wanted to threaten quietly and settle quickly. My target amount, $3,642.22. The exact cost of breaking my lease, 2 months penalty, $3,200. U-Haul truck rental, $347. Certified mail to their registered agent, $8.22. My time calculating all this at $0 per hour, priceless. I didn't call. I didn't schedule a meeting to talk it through. Meetings are where they gaslight you. Emails are receipts. Emails are weapons. Emails are what lawyers call contemporaneous documentation. Let me read you the exact 3 email sequence, word for word. Memorize this. Use this. Here, email number 1, the foundation. Subject, request for reimbursement, RTO relocation costs. Karen and Brad, I'm writing to request reimbursement for relocation costs necessitated by TechCorp's recent RTO policy change, effective August 1st, 2023. Background. My offer letter dated March 15th, 2021, explicitly stated this role as permanent remote with no requirement to report to a company physical location. This promise was a material factor in my decision to buy a house 47 miles from the downtown office and to make substantial investments in a home office setup. The current situation, the mandated 3 days per week RTO, represents a fundamental change to my employment terms. No signed amendment to my offer letter has been provided. Under promissory estoppel, I am entitled to compensation for cost incurred in reasonable reliance on TechCorp's promise. Attached, offer letter excerpt, section 3, paragraph 2, performance review excerpts from 2021 to 2023, estimated relocation costs, $3,642.22, June 2021 all-hands transcript or remote permanence was affirmed. Requested resolution. Option 1, reimburse relocation costs of $3,642.22. Option 2, grant grandfathered remote status per original terms. Option 3, discuss severance as constructive dismissal. I trust we can resolve this amicably and look forward to your response by August 22nd. Best regards, my name. Result: radio silence for 72 hours. They thought I'd go away. I just taught them I don't go away. Email number 2, the pressure. Subject: follow up on potential breach of contract claim. Karen and Brad, following up on my request dated August 15th. As of today, I have received no substantive response. Legal context. Under promissory estoppel and California contract law, TechCorp's choice of law clause per the offer letter, unilateral changes to material employment terms require written agreement from both parties. The California Supreme Court's Pooh v. C's Candies, 1981, established that employer promises can form binding contracts when employees reasonably rely on them to their financial detriment. My documented reliance: home purchased 47 miles from office based on remote promise. Office renovation of $8,400. Financial obligations tied to remote income structure. Career decisions made contingent on permanent remote status. Next steps if unresolved by August 29th. 1. File formal breach of contract complaint in San Francisco Superior Court. 2. Submit complaint to California Labor Commissioner for waiting time penalties. 3. Request discovery of all company communications related to RTO decision. Outstanding, $3,648.22. Waiting time penalties begin accruing August 29th. A certified copy of this correspondence is being sent to TechCorp's registered agent in Delaware via certified mail today. Best regards, my name. Result: within 4 hours, a calendar invite for open dialogue on Monday morning. The subject line killed their bluff. Email number 3, the draft they never wanted to see. I didn't send this email, not exactly. I sent an email with a draft complaint attached, clearly labeled draft for review before filing. Subject: draft complaint for legal review. David, please review draft complaint. I plan to file this Friday, September 1st, unless we reach an alternative resolution. I remain open to discussing a settlement that addresses the reliance damages outlined in my previous correspondence. Best, my name. Attachment: a 12-page complaint, beautifully formatted with exhibits labeled A through G, case law cited, and a prayer of relief that started at $3,642 and ended with attorney's fees and court costs. The legal equivalent of a loaded gun placed politely on the conference room table. Monday morning, conference room 4B. Karen from HR, Brad, and David from legal, a silver-haired man who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. Brad opened. I think there's been a misunderstanding about our RTO policy's flexibility. I said, Brad, I've been perfectly clear for 16 months. The misunderstanding is between TechCorp's written promise and its current practice. Let's not waste time rehashing. I have another meeting at 11. Karen jumped in. We can't just make exceptions. It sets a precedent. I looked at her. Karen, I'm not asking for an exception. I'm asking you to honor a contract. The precedent you're worried about is what happens when you break promises to 200 employees who relied on them to buy houses. I'm just first. Let's set the right precedent. Honoring your word. I slid 3 documents across the table. Offer letter, section 3 highlighted, CEO transcript, permanent remote quote highlighted, my cost calculation, $3,642.22. David from legal finally spoke. Your offer letter also states that terms are subject to change. I smiled. No, David, it says terms are subject to subsequent written amendments signed by both parties. Show me where I signed an amendment. Show me the consideration you offered for taking away a core term. You can't. David tried another angle. You're at-will employee. I nodded. I am. And at will means I can quit and get unemployment, or you can fire me and I can sue for breach. The middle path, the one that avoids both, is you pay my relocation costs. Simple. I slid the draft complaint across to David. Filing Friday unless we settle today. Discovery will include the CEO's transcript, all your RTO Slack channels, and every other offer letter you wrote promising remote. Want to explain to the board why you need a new budget line called breached promise settlements? The silence that followed was beautiful. It was the sound of calculator wheels spinning behind their eyes. David, what if we pay the relocation costs? Me? Then I'll relocate. I'll see you Monday morning. But you're paying for the move you forced, and you're documenting this as a policy exception, not a favor. I want the reference number. Wednesday, 2:14 p.m. An email from accounts payable. Approved for $3,642. Reference, policy exception 2023-RTO-001. Check processed. 17 minutes later, a company-wide email from HR. After thoughtful team feedback, we're introducing a grandfather clause for employees with documented permanent remote agreements. Please contact HR if you believe you qualify. Translation. One person threatened to sue, and we realized we had 200 other people with the same smoking gun offer letters. Damage control initiated. I deposited the check Thursday morning. Friday, I called the moving company. Saturday, I posted a sanitized version, no company name, just the method on LinkedIn. By Sunday night, 93,000 people had seen it. By Monday, 3 former colleagues had DM'd me. I used your method. They're paying my relocation too. Now here's the exact blueprint. Copy this, save it, use it. Step 1. Find your promise. Search your email for these words: remote, work from home, no office requirement, location flexible. Screenshot everything. The offer letter is king. A manager's email confirming remote status is your ace in the hole. Your performance review praising remote productivity is your ace in the hole. Step 2. Document your reliance. Did you buy a house? Sign a lease? Move cities? Turn down another job that required relocation? Get proof. Your lease agreement is a receipt. Your mortgage is a receipt. Every mile between you and that office is a $sign. Step 3. Calculate your damages. You have 3 options here. Option A, relocation costs. 2 months lease break penalty, moving truck, new deposit, travel to find housing. Add it up. Option B, cost of living difference. If they force you to move to a high-cost city, calculate the rent difference times 12 months. Option C, severance. If the change is so big you have to quit, that's constructive dismissal. You get unemployment and often severance. 2 weeks per year is standard. My number was $3,642. Yours might be $8,000. The formula works at any scale. Step 4. Send email number 1. Don't call, don't meet. Right. Attach the offer letter excerpt, attach the CEO transcript if you have it, attach your cost calculation. Step 5. Wait 7 days, send email number 2. Mention promissory estoppel, mention their registered agent, mention discovery. This is the pressure point. Step 6. Profit. They will fold because you have what corporate America fears most: documentation and a calculator. Let me give you the 3 legal phrases that make this work. Promissory estoppel. When a company makes a promise, you reasonably rely on it to your financial detriment, and breaking it screws you, they're bound. The reliance is the contract. Material breach. Changing where you work is as big as changing your salary. It's not a policy update. It's a new deal you never signed. Constructive dismissal. If they change the job so fundamentally you have to quit, that's a termination. You get unemployment and often severance. Always damages. These aren't loopholes. These are protections they hope you never Google. Your homework tonight. Search your inbox for remote. Find one email from your company promising it. Screenshot it. Save it to a folder called receipts. Your move? If they force RTO, use email number 1. Don't get mad. Get paid. Your share. Comment RTO and I'll DM you the exact template. Comment PDF and I'll send you the policy excavation guide from my last video. Like if your company lied. Share this with a coworker who's terrified of being forced back. Tag a manager who thinks an offer letter is just nice words. Subscribe because next week I'm dropping the one about equipment return demand. I sent the wear and tear invoice for $1,200. They want their laptop back after 3 years? Fine, but my keyboard depreciation isn't free. That check didn't just pay for my move, it paid for proof that their promises have price tags. Receipts over rhetoric. Documented over demanded. Policy over power moves. Be the highlight. See you next time.